go for it. Okay. Wonderful. So I'm here with Brooke today. Brooke was a member of our fall cohort, and she was so kind to jump on and share just a few words about her journey, and also just throwing it out there that she is 10 weeks pregnant right now as well. So obviously, congratulations, Brooke. I just talked about how she was feeling and getting all those fun details. But I loved Brooke's story because I think it's very relatable to what a lot of women feel in their journey, and also even in relation to like joining a cohort. And so, Brooke, just tell us a little bit about your thoughts on this and your experience with the cohorts and kind of what you gathered from that.
Yeah, so I'll kind of start with like why I joined the cohort. So, um, like my husband and I have been married for 2 years, and we knew that, we wanted to start trying. And I had like some blood work done like about a month before we kind of wanted to start trying. And there were some labs that were kind of like finicky on those. And my doctor told me, oh, everything's okay. So I had a call with you. Um, and we kind of discussed like, hey, this could be a sign of um, like this, vitamin level being low, vice versa. So it made me kind of think like, okay, am I actually like where I need to be to like one, get pregnant, or two, like, hopefully have a healthy pregnancy. So like my husband and I talked and, we're like, what do we do? And then your cohort was starting in September. So we went back and forth for probably like a week. And I think it was like the night before your cohort started. And Isaiah and I were like talking, and he's like, if you feel like this is something you need to do, like, let's just do it. So we did it. And honestly, I was like anxious. Like, was it the right step for me? Am I overthinking this whole process? We haven't even really started trying. So, and then like just kind of deep diving into the cohort, like the first 2-3 weeks, I realized like I'm not feeling my body in order to like prepare for the baby, in order to, when I am pregnant, give the baby what it needs. Um, and it was kind of like a surprise to me because I've always like tried to eat healthy. Like, I've been very, very big on, you know, I don't know, not eating fried fruit food every day and stuff like that. So I thought like, okay, I'm healthy, I'm good. And then I realized like how much my body was missing. Um, and I started just kind of incorporating little things like that we learned in the cohort, like fertility fats into every meal, stuff like that. And I think, I forget what week of the cohort it was that I found out I was pregnant. I want to say
I
like,
think you said around week 6.
yeah,
Week 6.
week 6, I found out I was pregnant. So that was awesome. And now like having the cohort experience and like being pregnant, even when I'm not feeling good, like I know, okay, like I need to eat these things, to fuel my body. And also a big thing for me was like exercise. I would exercise like 7 days a week.
Did it
Like,
stress you out if you missed a workout? It was like, oh my gosh, I didn't get my workout in. This is,
yes.
yeah.
Like even my husband would comment like, you're cranky today. I'm like, I know I need to like get my workout in. And yeah, I would like strength train and do cardio. It was, and so now like I do maybe like 3 or 5 days a week strength training and like some Pilates. But yeah, just kind of like changing that mindset of like, I have to work out or I'm not being healthy or I have to do this, like really was a big adjustment for me because it's something that I really, really stressed about before. Like, yeah. And I would stress like if I ate, too many calories, or it was a lot for me. So
Yeah, and I remember, I forget which week it was in our cohort, but we were on a call and we were doing a Q&A, and we asked, how many women here found out actually through this week's curriculum that you're under fueling? Were you on that call, Brooke?
yeah.
Yeah, and it was 100%. It was 100% of people. We had 30 women in the cohort.
Yeah.
Every single one of us was like, yeah, knowing now what is really a healthy intake for fertility and what I thought was healthy, I'm not eating enough.
Exactly. Yeah. And it was kind of like mind blowing, like to see that number of like that we should be intaking, because I think you mentioned this in the cohort, like we're not taught that as like women. Like you're taught, like 1,200 calories and you're good to go.
Yeah, yeah, like 1,200 calories, as you'll learn with now having obviously a baby in the future and then a toddler. I mean, 1,200 calories is like what a toddler eats, right?
Yeah.
How can we expect, and but this is what we're told, which is so crazy. Like big academic foundations in the nutrition space tell women 1,200 calories a day.
Yeah.
It's just insane. It is mind blowing. You said the perfect term for it. And
Yeah.
so, obviously, I mean, you made a lot of really huge changes. Do you feel like those, I mean, you mentioned eating more, reassessing your exercise. And I mean, I think I know the answer, but do you feel like those really helped you to get your positive pregnancy test?
I do.
Mhm.
I really do because I feel like, if I wouldn't have learned that stuff in the cohort, I would have just continued doing what I was doing. And I feel like my body would have, not been in the state to get pregnant. I was kind of like in that flight response, like just, stressed out and, eating very minimal. So I do
Yeah.
like, you know, one, it helped me get pregnant, and two, like, I can use it to maintain, like, have a healthy pregnancy. So
Love that. Yeah. And I mean, you see it in my background here, right? It's not just about getting pregnant. Of course, we wish that for every single person, but it's really your fertility, your future as well, right? So
yeah,
bringing that in, having that knowledge and keeping that growing and evolving is so, so powerful. And so you mentioned, in the beginning of this, you said, you and your husband went back and forth. You really had a lot of deep discussion about doing the cohort. You weren't sure that you were even going to get anything out of it. And
right.
so, yeah, I just love that you talked about that because I think it is so common, especially when we feel like we're already healthy. And I know Brooke personally. And yeah, I mean, just like my story, like so healthy, right? That definition we are fitting to a T. But it's that really letting go. And this is what I think I'm so proud of you, Brooke, for doing and what women, we all have, we struggle doing this. I can probably say every single one of us, and some women can effectively let go of that old idea of what is healthy for them and move on to a new understanding of that. Yet others still really, really, really struggle with that. And maybe they don't come to that realization as quickly or maybe ever. And so, anyway, I just want to say I'm so proud of you for diving in and just taking a chance and seeing actually that you had the opportunity to do that and you made it happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And it certainly, like, I mean, it was a quick transition, but it certainly wasn't like overnight, like to like even change my exercise routine. It was like, the first couple weeks, I'm like, okay, like, it was definitely an adjustment.
Uh,
So, and even like, eating more, like you saw, journals from the cohort, like it's hard to just like change overnight and say, okay, this is what is expected now and I need to do. So,
And that's, I think, why we love the cohorts, why we love them, why we do them, right? Is because 8 weeks is, I mean, not even nearly enough time, but it is way more time than say you would go to your practitioner and they're saying like, okay, make this change. And, in 10 minutes they see you, they're like, okay, you maybe make these changes in your lifestyle, have fun. We'll see you in 6 months or a year. Like, is
yeah,
that really going to be an effective driver of sustainable change? Probably not.
right, right.
And one of I thought of this too, like the reasons why we love the cohort and all these things we're talking about, the connection. Did you feel? I mean, how did you like being in a group? We'll just say that because sometimes people are a little worried about the group aspect of it.
No, I liked the group and I enjoyed like, you know, like reading everyone's experiences with the cohort and other people like, having moments where they were like, hey, like this is what happened with me and this is something positive. That was enjoyable to like read and see that their perspective was different than mine, but they're still, like they might have changed something different than I did, but they're still seeing positive results. And also like connecting with people who had like similar questions, similar incidences that you were going through. I think there were a few people in the cohort that like were into exercising, and I enjoyed those comments and chatting on the group chat with them to kind of see like how is everyone managing that stress or that change.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. I love that you jumped in there and really just benefited from that and also contributed to that. So it's nice to know that we're not alone. Sometimes, we can feel like our experiences are just our own and no one else shares those. Our struggles are our own, but having that community can be so powerful. So I just love that you went for it and that you got so much maybe more out of it than you maybe thought you would, and did come away with your positive pregnancy test. So really powerful stuff, Brooke, and thanks for sharing your story.
Thank you.